Tess. I wanted to let you know that all the symptoms you mentioned in your first video about maladaptive daydreaming, I have them all, and even more. I believe I've identified the source of my unresolved trauma, childhood abuse, family financial problems, and domestic violence within my parents' relationship. Now I struggle to focus for even 15 to 20 minutes or to truly engage when someone is speaking to me. I'm not sure if I'm thinking or daydreaming anymore. In fact, I've become somewhat fearful of my own thoughts. In my daydreams, I often find myself fantasizing about achieving financial success, having a meaningful job, and proving myself to the people who have impacted my life negatively or made me feel inadequate. Sometimes I even catch myself daydreaming about movie crushes. Despite being in a relationship, I can't help but daydream about how perfect things will be after marriage. In short, I know I'm okay, but this is significantly affecting my work. I find myself unable to complete tasks within a single day. Thanks for listening, and I appreciate your understanding. Dear Aditi, hi, thanks for writing in. First off, I'm so sorry to hear of the traumas you endured as a child and growing up, and I can see how any of those might still be impacting you. I'm so sorry, you didn't deserve any of that, and I'm really appreciative that you wrote in today and that you were so forthcoming about what you shared. Given your experiences, it would make sense that you would feel somewhat fearful as you describe. When it comes to trauma, hey everyone, if you could please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, that would be a huge help. Liking and subscribing is a free way to support this channel. If you want to go the extra mile, feel free to join my Patreon, which is linked below, and in that you get monthly delights, including a well-being tip of the month, book recommendation of the month, early release video, and journal exercise of the month. So head over to there if that interests you. When it comes to trauma, I think one of the things I wish would kind of be part of the rhetoric a little bit more is just the fallacy of that phrase, time heals all wounds. When it comes to trauma, time does not heal all wound. Leaving trauma untreated just leaves it untreated. It doesn't take away or change what happened. Things that can improve trauma or can help you heal from trauma is corrective relationships that are healthy and happy and whole and loving. That can be helpful, and also trauma treatments. Taking action that can help treat that trauma can include yoga or seeing a trauma-informed therapist. The first step I would take if I was you, if it's accessible, I would try to find a mental health professional who's trauma-informed. This is really important. Not every therapist is going to be trauma cognizant. I think there's more of that nowadays, especially if you remember specific instances of trauma you endured. EMDR might be a helpful one for you. Basically, all the trauma books also talk about yoga, so if you don't already have a yoga practice, I recommend it basically to everyone. There's not one person I know who wouldn't benefit from yoga in some way, even if it's just like simple yoga stretches. It will make your body feel good and hopefully ease some of the trauma within that. I think one of the other things that would be great for you is to increase support systems around you that will lend toward a healthier life. So I don't have much details or many details about your day-to-day life, so I'm just going to throw out a series of questions that I thought about as I was reading through your letter and as I was thinking about like what kind of life you have to bolster your well-being. Do you have community and friends you can turn to outside of your romantic relationship? Have you been able to implement any of the suggestions in my first 2 videos on quitting maladaptive daydreaming? Have you tried yoga and other physical modalities like trauma release exercises? I have 2 trauma release exercise videos on my channel that can be beneficial for releasing any old traumatic energy, so I highly recommend, especially if a therapist isn't as accessible to you immediately. It can be a place to start. Of course, it's always better to do it alongside a trained mental health professional. As a reminder, I am not trained as a health professional at all. I'll try to link those TRE exercises below for easy access, or maybe I can add it into the video somewhere. I'll see if I can do the fancy linking. I would recommend finding more grounding and countering the trauma wherever you can. This is one of those situations where there's clear trauma in your history, so I do think treating any underlying trauma below the maladaptive daydreaming is really important. I know you write that you're doing okay, and I'm really happy that you've come from such a tough place and have built a life where you do feel okay and where it feels good to you and where you see room for improvement. That all is really great, and I'm really proud of you. So yay, there. Basically, by actively finding more tools and techniques to ease the trauma, I think you can continue to find improvement in your life. One of the other things I would do if I were you, I would assess your diet and see where you can incorporate any brain boosting kind of foods or supplements. I take a bunch of them. I take vitamin D, vitamin K, magnesium. Sometimes I'll do St. John's Wort or NAC, NAC. I don't know if those are available to you. St. John's Wort is a natural antidepressant, so if I'm going through a lot of stress, I'll increase a dose or add a dose to my life and it will be better for a little bit. I think others that you can incorporate directly into your food. I do love turmeric and curry, which hopefully you're able to do too. I think you write in from India, so I assume you have plenty hanging about you, so keep doing that. They're great. Obviously, turmeric is wonderful as anti-inflammatory. I think also one thing you don't mention is exercise. Exercise every day if you can, if you don't already. It increases the well-being of basically every structure in the body, especially the brain, especially focus and calm, and it's just one of those things that it doesn't take that much exercise to reap the benefits of it. So if you don't have an exercise routine, try running, yoga, taking walks, maybe with your partner. All these things can help boost your concentration and your sense of well-being. If you have any questions or follow-up, feel free to write back in. I think referring to the former maladaptive daydreaming videos can definitely help, but if I were you, I would really work on healing that trauma in any ways you can. I really think yoga and other exercises can benefit you, and ideally if you could see a trauma-informed therapist or go the route of that. There are also a lot of really great trauma books you can check out. The Transformation by Dr. James S. Gordon is one. Obviously, The Body Keeps the Score, and An Unspoken Voice by Dr. Peter Levine. Those are the three off the top of my head, but there are many others as well. So if for some reason a therapist isn't accessible, books hopefully will be. And I hope that helped. Everyone else, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you all soon.